Good morning. It is about to open the stock market, that is. I'm a little bit out of it because I'm trading from the West Coast for a few days. I got my free webinar later tonight. Um, this guy says you were right about MTBC. MTBC, I thought about going long. Oh, the market just opened. I thought about going long overnight, but there was a risk of financing. As it turned out, they just reported earnings, which turned out to be pretty good. I didn't know that they were going to report earnings. Um, but yeah, this is a potential buy. This one's ran in the past. PRTO is also a potential buy, but the biggest watcher right now is ZPAS, which should fall apart. And I'm excited to watch it with you. That's why I'm doing this live video. There's no shares to short. This one has been on my watch list for weeks, just, being promoted. And it's just a question of when is it going to crash. And we had a crash before, which was a good dip buying opportunity. I don't know about now, it's going to crash. Right now it's down 9%. In the next 10 to 15 minutes, it'll probably be down 20%, or down 5% actually. There's still one bidder. I don't know who's buying right here. They're absolutely insane. They issued a press release. Where was it? Pop up. There's too many events. Anyways, we'll see it in a second. It's going to keep dropping. And I want to show you this. They issued a press release last night saying they were unaware of the promotion, which is total bullshit, but they just don't want to go to jail. This is how stocks crash, and there's no shares to short. Let me remind you, otherwise I would be short right now. There haven't been shares to short for a few days because everybody wants to short this because it's up so much. Let's just review this pattern. Wow, MTBC is up to 290. I guess I should have bought that, but this doesn't happen very often where you have this kind of multi-week pump. I mean, this has been going up literally almost every single day for a month. And this is just an absolute crash waiting to happen. So this is why I like penny stocks. You know how it's going to end. If you've been reading my watch list the past few days, you know that I said this is going to be a big time crash. How did I know? Because every other penny stock promo has crashed in the same manner, and they usually all crash in the morning. People wake up to, in this case, negative news, but sometimes it's when, there's just panic, and the promo is just dead. MTBC keeps going. I really should be long that stock, but I got to focus on this. Sometimes I'm going to miss a stock in order to teach, and this is going to be a fascinating morning panic. So in this case, there's no shares to short. Sometimes there are shares to short. You might have seen some of my past videos where I've shorted this, and I've ridden, the tsunami of sellers is what I call it. But I just want you to watch and see how quickly it drops, because this is what, keeps happening. This pattern will happen again and again and again, and you just have to be ready for it. Because even though in this case there's no shares to short, it's all right. It's not the end of the world. There's still a potential dip buy. That's a pattern that I like. I gotta charge my laptop. In this case, there's no shares to short. Let me just remind you. But I want you to see how freaking beautiful this is. Holy crap, MTBC is up to 370. You're killing me. You are freaking killing me. The one day. MTBC, big spike. I missed doing live video lesson on ZPass morning panic. This is a big spike. This is a big squeeze for MTBC. It's an earnings winner. Congrats to longs. But ZPAS, remember, look at this. It was down just a few percent. Now it's even more. How did I know? Because I've seen this play again and again. This is nothing new. Unfortunately, there's no shares to short this time, but I want you to see it. I want you to see what it looks like. Sometimes there are going to be shares to short. Okay? Sometimes this is going to be a fantastic win for me. And I filmed, I don't know how many dozens of videos like this. But I want you to see what it looks like on the level 2. So when you see, when I'm talking about a wall of sellers, I'm talking about this. This is stocks to trade software. Meanwhile, MTBC was the perfect morning spike. I should have been filming that. But, but I want you to see what a morning panic looks like. And now this one, might be a potential dip buy, but the press release was so negative. Normally, I like dip buying. Lately, I've been dip buying these kinds of morning panics. But I think on this one, I'm just going to do nothing. I'm not sure if it's going to bounce at all because it was such a negative press release. Hold up. Let me pull it up. This was the press release last night on CPAS. OTC Markets informed the company that it became aware of a promotional newsletter. The company is unaware of the effect on the trading activity. Oh, we just thought that our stock should go up every single day for a month because we're good. We had no idea there was any newsletter promoting us. Bullshit, bullshit, bullshit. The company is unaware of the full nature and content of the promotional newsletter. So their lawyers are making them say this. The company is not aware of the promotional materials, blah, blah, blah. After the inquiry, the company states definitively that its officers and directors and its controlling shareholders have not directly or indirectly authorized or been involved with the creation of the promotional material. The promotional material, the author has spoken to management. Despite a statement in the promotional material that the author has spoken to management, there has been no contact. Furthermore, the promotional material asserts that a $30 million investment was given to the company. That is not the case. So they're basically saying that this whole promotion is a total lie. We have nothing to do with it. We know nothing. Please don't sue us. Please don't put us in jail. That's basically what that press release says. So if this stock is crashing on its own with no negative news and you just see this kind of price action, I'm interested in a dip buy. But because the PR was so bad, I don't want to dip buy this. And, I do wish there were shares to short, but I also have a whole music video called No Borrow, No Cry. So it's really not the end of the world. This is an educational example. Sometimes things don't line up. Sometimes there's no shares to short. There haven't been any shares to short at any broker for several days. There's nothing you can do. I tried to put it in order at interactive. Let's see. No. So now it actually might dip by, it might bounce, but I'm not gonna try because this is such a negative piece of news, and I probably should dip by, but I can't. I can't do it in any good faith. There's my thing. This is my kind of pattern. So sometimes you find that you get boxed out of patterns. I'm boxed out from shorting because there's no shares to short, and I'm boxed out of going long because frankly it deserves to go down 25%. In this case, it might still bounce, So MTBC, I probably should have bought. You make mistakes, you learn. You hear I'm not angry. It's still going to be a lesson for me. And in this case, maybe there still should be a dip buy. But I'm curious to see how this is going to act. And I don't need to force it. I don't need to rush it. I don't mind just sitting here and just learning and seeing how this does. I wouldn't be surprised if this doesn't bounce very much. Like the other plays, so far we've bounced 10 cents a share. But it wouldn't surprise me if the bounce really isn't that much. You see, look at this. There's lots of sellers here at 270. And they're not really getting taken away. Now the bounce is failing. So I'm glad. I'm glad I didn't dip buy. You see, now look at this. It's turning around. So now it's taking out the bidders at 269, 267. Weak bounce. Terrible bounce. Z-pass, weak bounce attempt. No dip buy for me yet. So you see, this is the right pattern, but because the news is so bad, I'm not going to dip buy it. I like dip buying morning panics when there's no news. But this frankly should be down 30% today. Okay, it should be down more. It wouldn't surprise me if this is down 50% by the end of the day. So I know you guys want to wait for the perfect pattern, and you've been waiting for this kind of crash, and you're like, well, Tim, it's a crash. Well, this is the pattern we look for. Why aren't you dip buying? Because the news is bad, okay? Because the news is really bad. And sometimes you're going to wait for a week or a day or even a month for the right play. And for whatever reason, it's not going to work out. That's trading. And I want you to get used to it. I want you to get used to me just sitting here, watching and learning and trying to understand what this stock is going to do so I can be better prepared the next time. This is a beautiful, beautiful crash. And I know half of you don't even understand that you can make money when stocks go down, but you can short sell. And I have dozens of live videos. I have hundreds of videos of me short selling, maybe thousands at this point. But this play, again, normally has been a dip buying opportunity, but not today because of the negative news. You need to think about multiple indicators. You can't just focus on the pattern, or in some cases you can't just focus on the news. You have to think about the news, you have to think about the pattern, you have to think about everything. This is why we have the Sykes sliding scale. This is why I made my trader checklist guide free, so that you can think about multiple indicators. Too many of you only go into a stock, you think about one or two indicators. Tim, the news is good, let's buy. Well, why doesn't this stock have, a good history of spiking? Tim, this is great price action. There's no news, but I love the price action. Well, what's the news? What's the catalyst? So for me, I want everything to come together. In this case, nothing came together. There's no shares to short, and the news is so bad it's not worth a dip buy. So at least I chose the third option of making a live video so that you could see how a morning panic happens. What was it down? 5–10% to start the day, and now it's down 35%. So all while I missed MTBC. But at least you saw that I was thinking about buying MTBC because this is an earnings winner / short squeeze. I missed this trade in order to teach about ZPAS. And it looks like ZPAS is finally bottoming now. Once it's down 35% on the day, it's tough to go down more. But that's not to say that it's necessarily going to bounce either. It's kind of, I think, in this no man's land where maybe it bounces and then it finishes the day down like 25% or something. But I'm not doing anything with it just yet. So leave a comment below this video if you like this. I can do more of these, even if I'm not necessarily trading. I still think it's educational to learn from the live price action, so you can see a stock drop 30% in a few minutes, which most people are crazy. Wow, look at this bounce. So this one actually, so you had a fake out bounce, and now you have, a nice 30 cent a share bounce off the lows. That's not bad. That's not nothing. But I'm still not touching it, and I don't need to trade. But leave a comment under this video if you like this and say, I like live videos. 4 words. I like live videos. And maybe I'll do some more. But I want to show you sometimes when there is no trade. Too many of you think that you have to trade every day. Too many of you think like, oh, it's the right pattern, gotta trade it. Oh, it's the right news, gotta trade it. No, think more, okay? Think more, do less. I know it's not a fun thing. I know you want to see live trading videos, but sometimes there's just no play. And now this latest bounce is failing. Look at this. Now the ask wall is getting bigger. The bid is getting smaller. It's going to go back into the 240s in a second. You got to think of this as like a bouncing ball. There is no dip buy whatsoever here because the news is so bad. The best thing that I can do here is just teach you so you can learn, live. And that's not nothing. At least this stock is good for something. That's kind of why I got into teaching, because I was like, okay, I'm either going to make money on a trade, or if I lose money, it'll be a good lesson, or if I don't even trade it, at least I can document this. There aren't that many days when you get a 30% panic in a few minutes. The market has been open for 15 minutes. This is the kind, excuse me, this is the kind of volatility that, scares everybody away from penny stocks. But if you get used to it and you see it more often, you don't have to be scared. I said pre-market that this thing is going to crash. Look at my pre-market commentary. This guy says, can you include in your ZPS video what you look for on level 2 when looking for a bounce? Yeah, I think I included. But earlier, before the market, I said MTBC, PRTO, top potential spikers. I was dead on right about MTBC. PRTO did nothing. And I said ZPS is going to collapse. Not sure if it'll be a good dip buy, though, since the PR is so gloomy and almost like getting halted like by the SEC. So I had the exact right plan, the right idea here. And this is a good education for you guys. Anyways, I'm going to get into the chat room. Maybe I'll make a trade. I got to answer some questions, though. But this is a good video, I hope that you like it. And again, if you do like it, leave a comment saying, I like live videos. Thank you. All right, just wanted to film a quick little video. This is like an hour and a half after the first video. ZPAS did bounce. It didn't, bounce where I thought it would. Usually we get these quick morning panics. So this is a little different, again, because of the negative news. I actually tried trading it, and I lost a little money. It's okay. I lose every now and then. It's not the end of the world. I cut losses quickly. I was trying to dip buy it in the 250s, thinking that was the bottom. As it turned out, it did go up to the 280s, but it also went down to 2-ish. The low was like 206. I think actually E-Trade has better charts on this one. Let me pull up my E-Trade chart. Yeah, there you go. So you can see here, I thought that this was going to be the bounce, and it wasn't. I was actually one dip too soon. And then it really spiked up here. But from the lows, 207, to 288, let's just do the math. That's 81 cents divided by 207. Oh my God, what is wrong with this thing? Divided by 2.07. 39% bounce. So it didn't bounce the exact way that it has in the past. Frankly, I wasn't even sure that it was going to bounce at all. I tried a little bit. I was wrong a little bit. I lost a little bit. But I learned, and you learned too. And now, some of you guys, really nailed it. Where was that guy? A few people tweeted me. This guy, sign ESX, entered at 233, out at 261, left lots and lots on the table. Geez, that's okay. Okay? I've made millions of dollars leaving a ton on the table. Even if you lost, like I lost a little bit, you're still learning. The beautiful thing is that if you keep studying, if you keep seeing these kinds of plays over and over again, you adapt. And more times than not, you win. And that is how you become a millionaire. So this is very, very good practice. The fact that you're even watching this video lesson, the fact that you're witnessing this live, you saw the Morning Panic live, you know, this is a good day. And I lost money, but do you hear any anger in my voice? No. Okay, and some of you guys made 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70 cents a share, and you're like, oh, I could have made more. And there's like anger because you think you have to be perfect. Let this be a lesson. You do not have to be perfect, but you do have to be learning, and you should be learning and, you know, see from every single one of these plays what is possible. There was a 40% bounce here. It just wasn't on the first bounce attempt like, you know, usual. So it's not an exact science. It's more of an art, but you learn to adapt. You learn to try your best. Apparently, there were some shares to short, you know. Tim Grittani was even shorting some. I think he only got like 2,000 shares to short, though. So there were some shares to short, but the better play was the, you know, 40% dip after the first fake out bounce attempt. So this pattern works. The dip buy pattern works. It's just not exact like everybody wants it to be. But again, if you understand the gist of this video, I don't even remember what comment I told you to leave, but leave that comment below. See you guys in the chat room. Thank you.
My name is Tim Sykes, and I teach people to trade stocks. I am a self-made multimillionaire.
So this is the ideal trade that I'm going to talk about. I want you guys to understand every single aspect of this trade.